Hello from Hyde Park, London, and my favorite tree, the one with the portal. I wanted to share something with you, which is a six senses walking meditation. I'm not going to be doing the meditation. I'm not going to be speaking to it because it's all about you tuning into your six senses. This is something that I do with my group in the Project Me retreats when we go to Ibiza. We go on a hike and we do a six senses walking meditation. And the reason I started doing it is because I would take these women to these amazing places for these hikes, and sometimes everybody would be just chatting and chatting and chatting the entire time and kind of missing some really cool sights and things. I didn't want to interrupt people talking. And there's this particular hike that I love doing, but you have to go single file. So I thought I'll take everybody there. We go single file. You really have to be watching what you're doing and you can't really be talking. So we did the six senses walking meditation, and it goes a little something like this. For the first beginning, you'd walk for a little bit and just tune into all your senses, just get your bearings and start walking. Then you choose a sense. We always start with sight because we're used to using sight. That's probably when we go for a walk what we tend to use the most. You're looking where you're going, right? But so often when we are walking, we are, of course, looking where we're going, but our minds are somewhere else completely. So that's where the meditation part comes in. You are walking using your eyes, and you are really noticing the colors, the textures, how everything looks, things that you maybe wouldn't have even noticed if you had not been completely out of your head and into the present moment. So a lot like meditation, when you notice that your mind is in thought again, you let it go gently like a balloon, and you bring yourself back into the sense that you're focusing on at that moment. So if it's sight, if you notice that you're thinking, judging the things that you see, because it's just about observing in a really meditative way what you see and not judging what you see. So if, for example, you're walking and you see a piece of litter, you notice the litter, but you don't let your mind go into judgment about the person who may have dropped the litter, or there's so much litter around here, anything like that. You're just observing. That's what makes it into the meditation. Then you move on to another sense. So you might want to move next to your sense of hearing and just be listening to all the sounds. And it's incredible how, of course, you're still seeing and your other senses are still on, but when you just focus on everything you can hear, you notice the bird song, the little squirrel scampering, the sound of your own feet either crunching on leaves or walking on gravel or whatever it is. And not all of it is nature sounds. Like right now in middle of Hyde Park, I can hear some kind of distant construction work. But again, you're not judging it. You're just walking and listening. And then you move on to another sense. So say your sense of smell. And you may think at first, I'm not smelling anything. Sometimes there is something that you can pause and actually smell a flower. Or in Ibiza, we're oftentimes walking past some wild rosemary, and you take it in your hands and you can just take a piece of it and just keep smelling it as you walk along. But if you're somewhere where there really isn't anything in particular to sniff, just focus on what does this season smell like? And you begin to notice the different smells of the different seasons. Autumn has a different smell to spring. Summer has a different smell to winter. And even if you don't particularly think you smell anything, you can just breathe in the imaginary scent of summer or whatever season it is that you're in, and just imagine what are the scents of the season that you're in, and just focus for a while on that beautiful sense of smell. And you can move into taste. We usually do taste, actually. I usually guide people through taste at the very end. How I do this, by the way, when we're walking single file and we're not speaking, is I'm at the very front and I sort of keep a loose eye on my watch. I know that we're going to do roughly, depends on how long the walk is, but maybe 10 minutes on each sense. And so what I do is when I glance at my watch and I see that it's roughly around 10-15 minutes, I turn to the person behind me and I point to my ears, or I point to my nose, or I point to my mouth, or my hands, and then they turn around and they just simply do the same thing to the person behind them and the person behind them, and it makes it all the way to the person at the very end. So when you are now focusing on your sense of taste, that is oftentimes when we will get out of our bags, out of our little rucksacks, our bottle of water, or if we have some nuts or some dried fruits or an apple, and you can really put something in your mouth and actually taste it. If you don't have anything like that, you're not going to do that, then how does your mouth taste right now? If you don't have anything at all to put in your mouth, sometimes we don't spend as long on the sense of taste, but do it for a little bit. And the sense of touch, that is a great time to hug a tree, touch a tree, reach up and touch some leaves if you're walking by there, brush your hands by something if you're in a position to do so. Just notice the sense of touch, and that includes the sense of the air against your face, against your skin. Is there a breeze? Is it windy? All of that. And then the sixth sense. So by now, you will be much more out of your thinking mind anyway, and just in a much more meditative state by now. And when you focus on your sixth sense, you really are dropping out of the mind. You're dropping into the intuitive place in your body. It could be your heart, just focusing on your heart center. Some people know that it's their gut, their sacral or their solar plexus. If you don't know, just tune into your body. The idea is to get out of your head and into your body. And the more you can focus on your sixth sense, which is just that intuition. Sorry, I am laughing because I am being bombed by these squirrels up above me who are who are eating whatever's inside of this and then literally dropping them down on me. I'm getting acorn bombed or whatever. So focusing on your intuition, your inner sense, your sixth sense, and hearing what messages you have up. If you set an intention before your walk of something that you want to know the answer to, something you would like some insights on, then that would be a good time after you've done all these other senses and gotten yourself really in touch with nature and out of your head. It's a really, really good time to, you can either sit down like I'm doing right now on the base of this amazing tree. I can actually sit on the edge of it, or you can carry on walking and focus on what your intention was and what the question was you had, and really tune into your sixth sense and see what kind of answers it brings up. So that is the Six Senses walking meditation. Hope you'll try it for yourself sometime when you get the opportunity to just be on your own out in nature. It can be as little or as long as you want. So if you've got a long walk, you could really focus on each sense for longer. And if you're doing a short one, then just kind of do a minute or two on each one. See how you get on and let me know how it goes.